In sports today, the Toronto Maple Leafs have snapped their losing streak. Here's Ryan Durgy with the details and the rest of your sports news.
Thanks, Marino. The Toronto Maple Leafs faced off against the New York Islanders last night in a high-action back-and-forth match. The stakes were high for our boys, who've lost their last 6 games, 5 of which were surrendered by a single goal. The first period saw goals from both teams. Islanders' Tavares got straight to business, scoring the first goal of the night. But Hyman replied with a goal of his own, tying it up 1-1. Later on in the second, the Leafs take the puck out of their zone. Kadri passes it to the birthday boy Morgan Riley and slams the puck into the net, putting the Leafs at 2-1. The Islanders' Leddy evened up the score in the third period 2-2, and that's when the real action started. Strome comes in and gives Islanders a 1-point advantage, but William Nylander evened up the score to 3-3 with just over 1 minute remaining before launching into overtime. After an unsuccessful overtime, it all came down to the real nail-biter shootout. Rookie Nikita Shoshnikov sealed the deal in a shootout, deciding the game with a 4-3 win. But wait, there's more! The Leafs will be playing right here at home for the 2017 Centennial Classic. In a highly anticipated matchup, the Leafs will take on the Detroit Red Wings on January 1st, 2017. The NHL has come to the conclusion that the sexual assault allegations made against Patrick Kane were unfounded. The sexual assault investigation against the Chicago Blackhawks star was dropped back in November when prosecutors announced there was not enough credible evidence. But the NHL also began their own investigation of the case. Kane addressed the allegations back in September.
While I have too much respect for the legal process to comment on an ongoing matter, I am confident that once all of the facts are brought to light, I will be absolved of having done nothing wrong.
The investigation stemmed from allegations made by a Buffalo area woman last August. She said the alleged incident took place at his lakefront home in Buffalo. This isn't the first time Kane has had trouble with the law. Back in 2009, he was arrested after an altercation with a Buffalo cab driver. Maria Sharapova's use of meldonium has prompted her peers and the drug's creators to speak out.
I want to believe that for sure is a mistake for Maria. She didn't want to do it, but it's obvious that it's a negligence. The rules are like this, and it's fair, and now she must pay for it.
Nadal said it was a bad day for sports, specifically tennis, and that the sport should remain clean. The drug was banned by the World Anti-Doping Agency on January 1st, 2016, but the 5-time major champion says she's been taking the drug for 10 years to help with health issues. Ivars Calvins, one of the creators of the drug, says he's sure that other professional athletes are using it. Calvins also says if Sharapova hadn't been using the drug for as long as she did, she would be forced to end her career. As it stands, Sharapova will be provincially suspended from March 12th and now faces a ban from the sport. Now with a look at what Mother Nature has in store, here's Veronica Appia.
For residents of Toronto, it might be time to put away those winter coats for good. It's a warm one today, but we are expecting this light rain to continue throughout the day. We are looking at a high of 11 and a low of 1. Moving into Friday, it's going to be mainly sunny with a high of 9 and a low of 1. On Saturday, the sun will be brightening up your weekend with a high of 16 and a low of 3. And for some good news, it looks like these higher than normal temperatures are here to stay. This May-like weather is expected to continue throughout the month of March. Back to you, Marino, in the newsroom.
Thanks, Veronica. As we told you earlier, the Prime Minister is in Washington for a historic state visit. After all the work is done today, there will be a glittering White House dinner. It'll be a star-studded event, and the staff is working to make sure everything is perfect. First Lady Michelle Obama chose the East Room for the dinner. The menu and decorations are inspired by the arrival of spring. Yukon potatoes and lamb drizzled with Canadian whiskey are part of the menu. It is the first state dinner for a Canadian Prime Minister in 19 years. And finally today, we leave you with this. A pro snowboarder decided to switch things up in Calgary to send a message about the changing climate. What you're watching is a young boarder thrashing about on cement and rails. Cale Hill has been playing around with the concept for a few years. No one is quite sure what to call it, but the terms no snowboarding, park hoarding, and boardcore are just some suggestions. Hill is a 25-year-old father of two who says he wanted to challenge himself and get people thinking about climate change, saying snowboarding can't exist without snow. That's all for today. For details of these stories and more, check out humbernews.ca. Humber News is produced by students in the journalism program at the Humber North Campus. I'm Marino Greco. Join us tomorrow for our next news update.